here's the AMC 10A. So for the first question, we can let t be the amount of time between Andy leaving and them being the same distance from the starting point. So we have 8t equals 12 times t minus 1 from the conditions. So 4t equals 12, t equals 3. This is in hours, so the answer is E. Next, we can let x be the amount of pounds in the second nut mix. So now we can set up an equation about the peanuts. So we have 2/5 equals 5 plus x over 5 all over 10 plus x. Solving gives 20 plus 2x equals 25 plus x. So x equals 5. Now we need the cashews. So this means that cashews equals 1/5 times 10 plus 2/5 times 5, which is 4, using the percentages. Next, we want to find the number of isosceles triangles. So there are two cases here. Case 1 is when 2025 is the largest side. So using triangle inequality, we have x equals 1013 all the way to 2025, and this gives 1013 triangles. Case 2 is when 2025 is largest, but also repeated. So by triangle inequality, x equals 1 all the way to 2025. Now there is one repeated case here, so the total is 1013 plus 2025 minus 1, which is 3037. Now for problem 4, we want to find Ash's age. So let n be the number of students and x be the age of Ash. So here we can set up a system of equations. So we have (12n plus x) over n plus 1 equals 14. And we also have 15 minus n plus x over 16 minus n equals 52. So now we can just solve. We have 12n plus x equals 14. (14n plus 14). So x equals 2n plus 14. Now we can solve this equation. So 55 times 15 minus 55n plus x equals 52 times 16 minus 52n. We have 3n minus x equals to 825 minus 832. X's, we can sub this in, so we have n minus 14 equals -7, so n equals 7. This means that x equals 28, so the answer is A. Now we have a sequence of positive integers. So here we can just divide these up. So we have this, and so on. So we notice that this has a length of 2, this has 4, this 6, and so on. So it's increasing by 2. So we see that if we have 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus all the way to 88, and this is equal to 44 times 45. So that means that after this, to get to 2025 terms, we need another 45 terms, and that will not complete a full cycle because the previous one was 88 long. And since it starts on 1, the answer is just 45, so it's E. Here, we just need a really good diagram. So let's see. All right, so here, we know that each of these angles are 20 degrees. So we knew that this angle is 180 minus 40 minus 40 equals 100. And this angle, if we focus on this triangle, is 180 minus 20 minus 20, which is 140. And so by symmetry, if we focus on the other ones, we can find that all of the angles are 100 or 140. So that means the smallest one is 100, so C. Problem 7. So here we can use the remainder theorem. So basically, if we let p of x be the polynomial, then we have p of 1 equals 4 and p of 2 equals 6. So this means that a plus b equals 2, and then we have 2a plus b equals negative 6. So we have a equals negative 8, b equals 10. So b minus a is 18. So here, this is a really interesting logic question. So we can just think about this last statement here. If this one is false, then that's a paradox, so this one must be true. So then this is obviously true, and this is true. So this means that this is false, and so there's one false statement here. Here for question 9, since f of x minus a is just a transformation that shifts it horizontally, it's just asking for how many values of x are there, so that f of x equals 25. So now we can just set this to equal, and then we can divide by 25, so we have 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 8x minus 1 equals 0. So here we can see that as x, when x is equal to 0, we have f of x equals negative 1, so we can plot that here. When x is equal to 1, we have f of x equals negative 1, and when we have x equals 2, we have f of x equals negative 1. So now, when we have x equals half, if we plug it in, we get that f of x should be equal to 1/2. That's there. And then now if we plug in x equals 3/2, we also get that f of x is positive. So now since this is a cubic, it means that as x goes to infinity, f of x would be positive, and when x is negative, in a big number, it should also be negative. So the graph should look something like this. So here we can see that there are 3 roots. So the answer is C. So here we can let small r be the radius of the smaller one, and then large r be the radius of the larger one. So here, if we draw in this, we notice that since this is a chord and r is a radius, this should form a right angle and it should bisect it. So this one is 8. This is r, this is big R. So we know that big R squared minus r squared is equal to 64. We want to find the shaded area. So the shaded area is equal to pi over 2 capital R squared minus lowercase r squared, which is 32 pi. So the answer is C.